Well, Hillary Clinton on the offense. Just weeks before she's set to testify on Benghazi, her campaign releasing a new national cable TV ad accusing Republicans of exploiting the deaths of 4 Americans to score political points against the Democratic frontrunner. Watch.
The Republicans finally admit it.
Republican Kevin McCarthy saying the committee investigating Benghazi and Clinton's emails was created to destroy her candidacy.
Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was unbeatable, right? But we put together a Benghazi special committee. What are her numbers today?
Republicans have spent millions attacking Hillary because she's fighting for everything they oppose.
But House Speaker John Boehner saying through a spokesperson, quote, "This is classic Clinton, an attempt to distract from her record of putting classified information at risk and jeopardizing our national security, all of which the FBI is investigating." Now, this comes just one day after Clinton showed some fire at a nationally televised town hall, where she also slammed the Benghazi committee, pointed to her national and early voting state polling leads, and made impassioned arguments for gun control and income inequality. All right, I want to go to you on this one, Pete. This is classic Clinton. Boehner was right. I mean, they wait for Republicans to say something, which I found to be very innocuous. Her poll numbers went down because she's been obfuscating, and then they blame Republicans and say it's a vast right-wing conspiracy. The question is, will it work?
That's a very good question. I don't think it will, because there's so much baked in already. I mean, her 4th or 5th reset was to feel, right? To make sure people know that she feels. She's not comfortable feeling. She's comfortable fighting. And that's with this ad, with the statement that they're able to put into an ad, going on that town hall and seeming feisty. That's more fertile ground for Hillary Clinton. She feels more comfortable there. I think that may solidify her in her getting her feet underneath her. But whether or not it changes the way voters view her in those early states, they already have a sense that she's shady, that they don't trust her. The emails, Benghazi, she's going to go before that committee again in a couple of weeks. It's just going to bring it all back up to the surface.
That's right. I mean, we can't forget the end of October, Harris. She will be testifying again on the committee. And I do agree with Pete. It's going to take more than a political ad to turn this one around.
Yeah, October 22nd is when that's set. It's interesting watching her try to reshape the villain in all of this and then try to build momentum. She's going to need that if Joe Biden were to get into the race, right? She's going to need that momentum. My question, though, for you, Andrea, is how much damage has McCarthy done in all of this? I mean, is this something that Republicans can turn around now? Because when you see an ad like that, it's interesting how much of him they used in that ad.
I think it's going to take a lot more than an ad, and I say that because of how badly she's handled the scandal herself. One thing I will say in fairness, though, the recent polling that we have on from Gallup, I should say, on Benghazi, only 21%, Harris, of Americans are somewhat closely following this. 57% of Americans aren't following this at all. So, Julie, I'm really watching the hearing to see, does she make this worse? Of course, the email scandal where she was deleting the emails about Benghazi, I think, are not going to be able to go away, because I don't think she has good answers on that. And it's just going to remind the public that she never has.
This is exactly what Democrats have been waiting for. I mean, I think a lot of Democrats, me included, breathed a sigh of relief and said, finally.
A distraction?
Not a distraction, but finally she's going out there and fighting. I think, Pete, you're absolutely right. This is a candidate who is much more comfortable going on the offense. She hasn't been. And that's been telling. She hasn't been true to her nature, and I think she's very good. She's at her best.
What is her nature?
Her best. Tell us what she is. No, I will tell you right now. She is a fighter. Going back, even going back to the Monica Lewinsky days, when she talked about this vast right-wing conspiracy, that is her comfort zone. She's always best, and her numbers are always up when she's out there fighting. And I think a lot of Democrats are out there saying, at long last, thank you, Kevin McCarthy, for giving her the opportunity, but at long last, she's out there being able to do what she's very good at doing, which is going on the offense. No more sitting there obfuscating about what's going on.
What she's doing is blaming and insulting. Okay, Trey Gowdy and the commission, the congressional committee that is trying to find justice for 4 Americans that were murdered unnecessarily on her watch, is what's happening.
Well,
no, it's not about her. It's about justice.
In fairness, there have been 6 investigations now that have found that she did nothing wrong.
And it's been that many because she will not give up the information she's asked for.
I'm a little confused. There have been 6 investigations that have found nothing wrong. So I guess we'll have a 7th one. We'll have a 7th one today now.
We don't really know what was going on, to Stacey's point, because she's deleted a lot of those emails. One of the investigations done, the report that was done, was by Chairman Mike Rogers.
Right.
There's a little bit of shadiness on that, and our reporter Adam Housley has done a lot of great reporting on that. But also, Harris, Adam's going to be breaking some news on this. The committee has gone out of their way, Trey Gowdy specifically, to be bipartisan. They have gone out of their way to be fair, and Democrats like Elijah Cummings, they haven't been showing up for the hearings. They've done everything not to take part in getting answers to what happened that led to those 4 dead Americans.
Well, and also, we don't know what the FBI has. I mean, they are tasked with finding out what criminal behavior potentially would have happened and what evidence is there. The State Department, through a judge, has tried to access some of their information in their investigation. I mean, you've had experts right on this couch tell us that they're going to play this close to the vest, because if they are going to go after her for a criminal violation, they're going to need every I dotted and every T crossed.
Exactly.
So we don't know what they have.
And that's what makes McCarthy's comments unfortunate, is that that's not why the committee was formed. He misspoke. He said that. I take him by his word. They've been very serious and bipartisan. But it is true that through that investigation, it exposed a private server. That was an unintended consequence of a very serious and substantive Benghazi committee. And she's trying to obfuscate. She's trying to distract.
Well, you guys,
but to imply, that's implying that they are just like some teenage schoolgirls with a vendetta against Hillary. They're not.
Well, I'm using McCarthy's own words to say that absolutely you're not right about that. But I will also say the following. What do you guys expect her to do? I mean, seriously, do you expect her as a candidate for the United States president to sit there and say, yeah, let me just take it, let me just take it? She's
Play by the rules.
How about not
give
be
me
a
a break? You know what the problem is? You guys are being
really
unrealistic as to what you expect her to do as a
If you want to
candidate.
talk about smart strategy, we expect her as former Secretary of State to follow the law.
That's right.
And she didn't. And the server was illegal. And not even that, Julie, she was not getting intelligence on Libya at the time from the National Security Team in the White House. She was getting it from Sidney Blumenthal.
So let me ask, well, first of all, we don't know who she was getting it from. In addition to Sidney Blumenthal, we don't know who she's getting it from.
Let me ask you
including
this.
State
Her
Department
friend,
security.
Ambassador Chris Stephen, her friend, she calls him a friend, requested more security, direct cables to her, and instead of beefing it up, she drew his security down.
You know,
that woman has blood on her hands, and she has not
Give me a break. Saying that she's got blood on her hands is like saying George Bush has blood on his hands on 9/11. That is an absolutely horrific, horrible thing to say.
Julie,
you were saying out there, give me a break. You're saying that she went out there and purposely threw Chris Davis in the wolves
for more security.
You know who asked for more security? Yes, and Congress should have provided more
decisions that led to an unfortunate incident, and as a result, as a leader, you take responsibility for it, not hide.
I think she actually did take responsibility for it. You guys wanted her to nail herself on a cross on it.
Today, we have the first Democratic presidential debate. Does this issue come up?
Of course.
Because Bernie Sanders has said, he's not. He's going to focus on the issues. If Joe Biden announced